Welcome back to the channel and another episode of Horses to Follow. Thanks a lot for the kind responses to the first one, which we did a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to give 3 more horses which I think I want to keep an eye on come the Cheltenham Festival. They're not exactly tips because I think maybe one or two of these won't be ready to win at the festival this time round, but I think they've got a lot of scope for improvement and very high ceilings, and they'll definitely be winning some good races in time. And the first one comes in the Arkle at 13-2, and it's Hot and Galore for Willie Mullins in the colour of the Donnellys. Now, this horse has always seemed to have a quite lofty reputation. Its yard debut was actually in the Triumph last year, so that says a lot about the horse, and actually ran well enough in the end to finish third. And he went chasing this season. He's had 2 starts, and his chase debut was a very impressive one. He then ran in the Irish Arkle, where he departed quite early. He fell at, I think it was the 3rd or 4th. Brian Cooper on board had no chance, and he was very strongly supported heading into that race. He was sent off 10-3, having opened up about 6-1 in the market, and I think that's very telling. I think Willie Mullins, the yard was definitely betting on it, and I think they think that they have a very good horse in Hot and Galore, and I think they might be right. Now, come the Arkle, it's not the strongest renewal ever, so I think this horse could maybe go and win it. It's not the ideal prep, just the one run over fences and then falling last time out, and he might just not be streetwise enough to win it compared to other horses like Edward Stone and Riviere de Tel, who have had quite a few runs now, 4 and 6 I think, so they are definitely a long way ahead in their professionalism. But this horse does have a lot of untapped potential, so he's definitely one to keep an eye on in the Arkle, although he might not be winning it, but if he finishes close enough to these in the Arkle, he's definitely the one to take out from the race. In a year's time, I think even if this horse does get beat, with a few more runs under his belt, he could definitely be a force over fences. Now, the second one also comes in a novice chase, and it's in the RSA, or the Brown Advisories, and it's going to be a Hoy Senior. He's 5-1 in the betting for this. There's quite a few horses which are more fancied than him, but there's not many fans of a Hoy Senior bigger than me. I think this horse is the real deal. He'll be winning Grade 1s in Open Company next season, maybe the Cheltenham Gold Cup. I think that much of the horse. He's a Grade 1 winning hurdler. Won the Grade 1 at Aintree at the back end of last season, beat Boeveman's Game by 7 lengths, and in his chase starts so far he's had a bit of everything. He fell or was brought down on his debut, and then he's had 3 runs since then, a first, a second, and then back to winning ways the last day at Weatherby. Now, at Newbury on his second start, he won by 31 lengths. It was a very good performance, and at Kempton he never really seemed to perform. He didn't jump well at all. I don't think that was his track. It might be a little bit too sharp for him, and he was beaten by Boeveman's Game. He was put in his place, but I still heading away from the races that day. I still thought that a Hoy Senior will be a better horse in time. He's got a huge engine, and he did bounce back at Weatherby somewhat. I was there to see him in person, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm in the north and I don't get to see many top class horses in person, but this horse left a lasting impression. He jumped very well. He warmed up to the task. He wasn't the best at the first couple, but he won with any amount in hand from the second, which was Noble Yates, 5.5 lengths back. And I think that horse is a very good horse in his own, albeit probably a handicap or not a graded horse. But I think he's going to be sent off favourite or near enough favourite wherever he goes next, whether it be the Grand National or a handicap at Cheltenham. So I think the form of that race is good enough, and this horse, the question mark would be, will he suit Cheltenham? There is question marks. It's a hard track to jump at. It's going to be some challenge, but I think he's maturing all the time. He was a big baby in the first starts of the season. I think he still is to an extent, but is definitely heading the right way, and he's one to keep an eye on. Whether he's good enough to reverse the form with Boeveman's Game so soon after being beaten by him, that's another question mark. But in time, this horse is going to be a very good horse, I can assure you of that. And now the last horse comes in the Triumph Hurdle, and a horse I've been drumming on about for a long time now, Vauban, who I'm on at 16-1 for the Triumph. I'm hoping he can do the business, and this horse is definitely one to follow, just because the amount of improvement we saw from first time out, where he was beaten by Pied Piper by half a length. He wasn't the easiest of rides that day. He was a little keen early on. He didn't jump go at times, and then Paul Townend dived to the inside just before the last. That might not have been the best idea because he was short for him, had to switch back out and flew home late. Was just beaten by Pied Piper by half a length, but the next time he was somewhat more professional, albeit his jumping still wasn't great. That's something Willie Mullins will have to iron out. But if this horse jumps well around Cheltenham, I do not see how he gets beaten at all, because he beat Phil Daw pretty easily in the end by 3 lengths. Paul Townend didn't get too serious, and Phil Daw had the run of the race. Pretty much everything went wrong for Vauban, in a sense that he didn't jump great at all. He was out to his right, he had a wide trip, but he still managed to beat Phil Daw with any amount in hand. And Willie Mullins said that he's got big plans for this horse, which is not too bullish that often about horses, and when he is, it's worth paying note to. So I think this horse could go on to much better things, but I'm just hoping he starts off by winning a Triumph on Friday. That'll be hopefully the start of a very big hour or two for Willie Mullins, who might have the Gold Cup winner in Album Photo. That's a performance I'm hoping to see as well. But for me, the 3 horses to follow, 2 from Willie Mullins and a Hoy Senior, I think he's a monster. I'm just putting it out there. He's 20-1 for the Gold Cup next year, and you can make of that what you will. I'm a firm member of the Hoy Senior fan club, and you might be too after his performance in the RSA. I'm certainly hoping he can put in a good performance. That rounds off the video. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Cheltenham content coming your way very soon.